Hi, I'm Sammy Hoy. I'm president of Maryland Institute College of Art, or MICA. Thank you so much for talking with me today.
Tell us about your involvement in the arts and your history, your career.
Sure, it was certainly a circuitous path. Even though I was exposed to beautiful objects, very well made, because my father's business was very high quality Chinese furniture, traditional Chinese furniture. My family background was such that I never thought art and design would be a viable career pathway. So I would say I came into the arts through a process of self-discovery via an early life crisis. And then I stumbled into art education and art college management along the way by accident. And so the early life crisis was that I followed rather traditional educational pathway, always enjoying the intellectual pursuit until I went to law school. That was a very pragmatic choice that turned out it just did not answer to my internal purpose and passion. So during the law school, I really had to examine what life would be for, what would bring me satisfaction. So as I considered the pragmatic choice of law studies and did not work out, then it gave me the courage to re-examine what might be my passion, what I could pursue. So when I look back in my life, I realized that lifelong I'd always taken art classes, was rather good at it, and actually always brought me joy. So I decided to really take a leap of faith and apply to art school. So I finished my bar exam, very luckily passed it at with the first exam, and then I went to Parsons School of Design. And then at Parsons, in order not to pay tuition, again, since I was already in debt for law school, I negotiated to work for them in exchange for tuition. And that's how I stumbled upon actually arts college management, because I didn't enter that as a career choice. I entered that in exchange of free studies. So I worked full-time and studied full-time at the same time. And then when I graduated, they liked me enough to retain me, and that kind of began to launch my art administration work life.
So after Parsons, the Corcoran was after that?
Yeah, I was very lucky. I started at Parsons, New York City. And then in order to keep me at Parsons, because I'm ready to launch a freelance career as an illustrator, they offered me a job I couldn't resist, which was to go to Paris to run its tiny little branch campus. So I was very young at that time, and I thought, well, I could wait a few years. So I went to Paris and really enjoyed being the director of a independent program so much that I decided that would be could be a lifelong pathway. So that really launched me into a permanent pursuit of actually art college education management. And then from then I was recruited to join the Corcoran College of Art and Design in Washington, D.C. And then from then I was recruited to join, after 9 years there, then I went to Los Angeles and became the president of Otis College of Art and Design and stayed there for 14 years before being convinced to join the search at MICA. My community engagement work really started at the Corcoran. At that time, the Corcoran really, after Mapplethorpe scandal, and I was recruited to be one of the team to rebuild the museum and the college. And so because of my personal interest, inadvertently, I was kind of given a community ambassador role. So I went out and basically shook hands with everyone and figure out how the museum and college could be more relevant in the city. And through that, I discovered that one of its most relevant and impactful role would be working with kind of underserved youth of the city. And then I also launched a kind of the first regional biennial of regional artists, contemporary artwork. And with that, I got a taste and I got trained how to do things right. I learned from the lessons I didn't quite do correctly in these community efforts. And then when I went to Los Angeles at Otis, I would say my community engagement work became a little more mature in its perspective and also in its approach. So rather than thinking more institutionally how one could kind of help others, it really became more of a philosophy of how the college and what we do need to kind of synergize with the context of the city and figure out a way for both the college and our community members to be kind of broadly engaging and impactful. And so it ended up being multifaceted in terms of a community engagement, from working authentically, equitably with community partners so that it became part of the education of how our students and faculty would work hand in hand with city agencies, neighborhood members, and corporations in real life projects, to thinking about, aside from social impact, how an art and design college could actually make the larger economic argument, which helped to led to the launch of the oldest report on career economy of the Los Angeles region, that ultimately became quite influential. And then the state of California actually came, and the California Arts Commission actually came to us to commission us to do a statewide report in addition to the regional report. So that's how it all came about.